Don't you just love spring colours? All those pastel pinks and blues and greens, they're absolutely fabulous. I'm a pastel girl, so spring makes my heart sing. My name's Carol and welcome to my channel. If you haven't been here before, it's nice to see you, and if you've been here before, welcome back. Always lovely to have you joining us. Today we're going to make this wonderful spring bracelet. So it's made with these large pastel bubblegum beads and some little stardust beads, and it's got this beautiful pendant on the side here. So if you enjoy this video, please subscribe to my channel and like the video and ring the bell so that you'll be notified every time I upload a new project. That way it helps my channel grow and I can continue to bring you new projects. So let's get started. To make this spring bracelet, you will need 12 of these 16mm acrylic bubblegum beads. You'll also need 12 of these 4mm silver stardust beads. You will need one of these heart pendants, and you'll also need some of the elastic stringing material. So this is called elastic wire. I've got about 60 centimeters here, and I've actually already threaded it onto a darning needle. You just need to make sure that the darning needle, the eye, will go through your small beads. I've also got, in terms of tools, I've got a piece of wire. It doesn't matter what size, I'm just going to use it to apply the glue. I've got a piece of paper which I'm going to put the glue onto. I've got my flush cutters, but you could just as well use scissors rather than specific flush cutters. And I'm also going to use some of my E6000 glue. So let's get started. This is basically just a stringing exercise, and what we're going to do is I'm going to start with one of my bubblegum beads, and I'm going to just thread my wire through, and I'm going to take it right to the end, and I'm just going to go through that bead again with my needle so that it will anchor it there and stop it falling off the other end. Now I could have used a bead stopper for that, but I'm not going to in this case because I can easily take this out later on because these beads are so big. Next I'm going to pop on one of my silver stardust beads, and they are a bit tight going over the eye of the needle, so I just need to pull it quite firmly. Now the trick here is to make sure when you lay out your beads that you don't get, when you thread your beads on, that you don't get two beads the same next to each other. So I'm just going to actually lay them out and have a look at what I've got. So I probably don't want these two together, so I might move my purple one down there. That looks good, and then I put my pink one there. That looks great. So I'm just going to string them in that order. So now purple, one of my little stardusts, Now I have all of my beads on my elastic wire. Next I'm going to put on my little pendant, and I'm actually going to add another of the beads there as well, the little stardust beads, just so that there's one on either side of the pendant. Now because I'm using 0.6mm thread, I want to make this really secure because these beads are quite heavy. So I'm actually going to go through all of the beads again, and I'm just going to unwind that piece of elastic that I put through the bead at the beginning so that it doesn't unravel. I'm just going to hold it, and I'm just going to thread all the way through the beads again. Alright, I've gone all the way around twice, and what I did find is that the elastic actually came out of this first bead, so I've actually gone through that big pink one again, and that's actually not a bad thing because it means that my join is not where the pendant is, so that's probably quite good. Now, I didn't say this at the beginning, but you need to make sure that your needle has no point on it, because otherwise it can destroy the wire as you go through. Okay, so now we're going to pull it up nice and tight. This can take a minute. Now, even though it is quite firm, this wire, just be easy with it, because it can break if you pull it too hard. That's why I went around twice, to make sure that it was nicely and tightly, nice and firm and secure. After saying that, my wire did actually break, so I've gone back to where it broke. So I pulled it a little too tight. That was a bit silly of me. So I'm actually going to just pop that one, whoops, make sure it doesn't pull out from that end, so pull it a little bit tighter. And I'm going to thread this one through to that spot there. Okay, now I've got my wire through all of the beads again, and I'm just going to tie it into a knot. I've still got a little bit of a space there, so just trying to wiggle those beads around to get until I don't have a space. There we go. Okay, so now I've got all of my beads on and I've got no space between it, so I'm just going to tie some more knots, a couple more, just cross the wire over and put it through the loop. Right, now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to get the knot here to pop back inside that bead and to glue it. So this can be a little tricky, but I'm actually going to thread the ends through here, through this big bead, which is lovely because it's got a nice big hole in it. And I don't need my needle to do this, I only needed the needle because of the small beads. So I don't want to pull it tight just yet. So there's my knot. Oops, it's disappeared already. There's my knot. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some glue on it to stop it coming unraveled. So I'm going to take my little piece of paper here and I'm going to put some glue on it. You could use super glue if you didn't have the E6000. Now I'm just going to, there's no way to do this without getting glue on your hands, I'm sorry. But I'm going to take my glue, oops, stretch it out and put it all over. It's a big glob, but you can wipe it off later. So put it all over that knot, and I just move it around with my fingers till it gets to the right place, and then just pull it through and wipe off any excess. So now when the knot should be, there's the knot there, it's gone right through, so I want to pull it back and it should sit inside that bead. And I'm going to take my cutters and just snip off the end. So now the knot is sitting right inside that bead, and it should, once that glue's dried, it shouldn't come out. So that's the spring bracelet. It's very cool with all its funky colours. There are links to everything you need to make this bracelet in the description below. If you've enjoyed this video, please subscribe to my channel and like the video, and of course ring the bell so that you'll be notified every time I upload new content. That way I can continue to bring you new beading projects. Thanks for watching and have a great day.